Most people think they know how McDonald's started. You've probably heard of Ray Kroc, the milkshake machine salesman who built the world's biggest fast food empire. But what if I told you that the real story is far more deceptive than what you've seen in commercials or read in business books? The golden arches may symbolize American success, but behind them lies a tale of innovation, betrayal, and a power grab that changed the food industry forever. This is not your average business story. It's about how marketing, ambition, and cold corporate strategy transformed a family-owned burger stand into a billion-dollar brand. It's also a reminder that success isn't always born from genius. It's often seized through persistence, manipulation, and luck. The contrast between what people believe and what actually happened is staggering. And once you see the full picture, you might never look at fast food or entrepreneurship the same way again. Stay with us as we uncover the real story of how McDonald's came to dominate the world. Spoiler alert, Ray Kroc didn't start McDonald's. He took it. But what if I told you that the real story is far more deceptive than what you've seen in commercials or read in business books? Why has this story been hidden in plain sight? The birth of an idea, the McDonald brothers. In 1940, Richard and Maurice McDonald, two brothers with a dream, opened a small burger joint in San Bernardino, California. It was called McDonald's Barbecue and featured a sprawling menu with over 25 items. But by 1948, they had a bold idea: eliminate complexity and focus solely on speed, consistency, and low prices. So they shut down, rebranded, and created what they called the Speedy Service System. This was revolutionary. They slashed the menu to just burgers, fries, and drinks. They introduced an assembly line kitchen where each worker had one task, similar to how cars were built. No more waiters or car hops. Customers came to the window, paid, and got their food almost instantly. Sound familiar? Their idea worked. Customers were amazed. Lines grew longer, and word spread across California. The brothers had accidentally invented fast food, but they weren't interested in going national. They were more focused on perfecting their system than expanding it. They poured their energy into consistency, training, and efficiency, instead of chasing fame or fortune. They valued quality and control. Every burger had to be exactly the same. The fries had to be cut and cooked with precise timing. They believed success came from doing one thing and doing it really well. They rejected fads and focused on fundamentals, crafting a restaurant experience that felt revolutionary. But this very focus would later become their biggest weakness when a hungry entrepreneur entered the picture. If they were so innovative, why didn't they become billionaires? What stopped them from franchising across the country? You're about to find out. Enter Ray Kroc, the salesman with a vision. In 1954, Ray Kroc, a struggling milkshake machine salesman in his early 50s, noticed that one small restaurant in California had ordered 8 of his multi-mixers, machines that could make 5 milkshakes at once. Intrigued, he visited the McDonald brothers' restaurant. What he saw blew his mind. The efficiency, the cleanliness, the low prices, it was everything a modern eater could want. But Kroc saw more than a burger stand. He saw a business model that could change America. He believed that with the right leadership and aggressive expansion, this small idea could become a coast-to-coast phenomenon. He convinced the brothers to let him become their franchise agent, with the goal of taking their concept nationwide. In 1955, he opened the first McDonald's franchise in Des Plaines, Illinois, under a new company, McDonald's System Inc. He insisted on strict quality control and introduced uniform standards across every location. He dreamed of golden arches in every town. Kroc was charming, relentless, and persuasive. He promised the brothers he'd keep their vision intact. But his definition of success was very different. For Kroc, success wasn't just about great food or happy customers. It was about growth, branding, and eventually, total control. He didn't just want to participate in the system. He wanted to own it. The seeds of conflict had already been planted. Was Kroc just a visionary? Or did he have a hidden agenda from the very beginning? Growing tensions and silent power grabs. As McDonald's franchises began popping up, Ray Kroc demanded more control. He believed in aggressive growth, while the McDonald brothers were more cautious. They clashed on everything, from pricing to building design. The brothers wanted to keep things simple and sustainable, but Kroc was all about domination and branding. He envisioned a fast food revolution, not a regional business. And here's the deceptive part. Kroc started building his own version of McDonald's culture. He referred to himself as the founder, despite not starting the business. He even began excluding the brothers from key decisions, slowly rewriting the narrative. He surrounded himself with a loyal team, carefully positioning himself as the visionary and sidelining the actual creators. By 1956, Kroc had convinced the brothers to sell him exclusive rights to their name and system. The price? A mere $2.7 million, enough to net them $1 million each after taxes. But there was a verbal agreement. They would continue to receive a 1% royalty in perpetuity. This royalty, if honored, would have made them 100 millionaires. Here's the twist. Kroc never honored that deal. Because it wasn't in writing, he refused to pay the royalty. The brothers, already out of the business, were left watching their legacy grow into a global empire without them. As McDonald's took over America and then the world, the men who built its foundation were pushed further into the shadows. The McDonald's had little leverage. Legal action was expensive and risky. They never thought someone they trusted would turn the tables on them so ruthlessly. Their caution, once their strength, left them vulnerable in a high-stakes game they never asked to play. They were engineers, not empire builders, and they paid the price. How far would Kroc go to erase the McDonald brothers from history? The next part will shock you. The final blow, erasing the originals. After acquiring the brand, Kroc set out to erase the McDonald brothers' footprint entirely. When the brothers refused to sell him their original San Bernardino location, Kroc opened a new McDonald's just a block away and ran them out of business. It was a strategic and deeply personal move, intended to wipe out even the memory of their ownership. He then omitted the brothers from public relations materials and marketed himself as the sole founder. History books, interviews, even educational case studies began pointing to Kroc as the man who invented McDonald's. The McDonald brothers, forgotten. Their names were erased not by accident, but by design. To this day, if you visit the site of the original McDonald's, it's not owned by the company. It's a museum, quietly maintained as a nod to the real inventors. Visitors are often surprised to learn that someone other than Ray Kroc started it all. The truth is quietly preserved, but rarely acknowledged in mainstream corporate storytelling. Kroc didn't just buy a business, he rewrote its history. He took credit for the brothers' work, locked down the narrative, and built a billion-dollar story where he played the hero. This wasn't just about burgers. It was about legacy, ego, and ultimate dominance. He wasn't content with wealth. He wanted myth-making power. But in the end, did Kroc's ruthless methods actually help build the biggest restaurant chain in history? Let's find out. Today, McDonald's is a global juggernaut, serving over 69 million people daily. Ray Kroc is remembered as a pioneering businessman. But behind every Big Mac and Happy Meal lies a story of two brothers who changed the way we eat, then got written out of the narrative. Their legacy, while foundational, is rarely taught or celebrated. Kroc's vision, no doubt, turned McDonald's into a symbol of American capitalism. But at what cost? The true origin of McDonald's is a story of brilliance stolen, legacies buried, and the power of storytelling in shaping history. It's a cautionary tale about who gets to tell the story and who gets lost in the footnotes. When you think about branding, expansion, and the American dream, consider this. Sometimes the loudest voice isn't the most truthful, it's just the best funded. The next time you pass those golden arches, remember, they stand on the shoulders of two men who had a dream, but lost it to someone else's ambition. It's not just a fast food story, it's a lesson in business, ethics, and human nature.